Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zang here, and today I'm bringing you the first episode of my Sinnoh Classic tournament run. We're going to find Johnny H from New York with a rating of 1424 to kick it off immediately, but basically for those that don't know, the Sinnoh Classic is a Pokemon Global Link tournament that's a throwback to VGC 2008 and 2009. You can only use Pokemon up to the Sinnoh region, and 2008 and 2009 were actually VGC years I played in. For those that don't know, I've actually played in every year of VGC since it first became a thing, and I'm using one of my favorite teams from back then. So I'm planning on documenting all of my games in this tournament. It's obviously a little bit different from VGC 16 and the recent metas. No Mega Evolutions are allowed, very few Legendaries as well, so I think it should be a fun time, and this is one of my favorite teams, Trick Room Hail, that I'll be using. So I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of content. Definitely let me know if you enjoy by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate that, and any feedback as well. We're gonna get started with the first game of this episode. I'm so excited. This meta game was something that I really loved, and it's a little bit different now with new typing and some items being removed and team preview, but it'll be really fun. So Johnny's rocking Kangaskhan, Infernape, Shuckle, Vespiquen, Pachirisu, and Smeargle. So it's like kind of something from everything, right? Let's see. Smeargle is probably the one thing I'm actually most concerned about. Definitely like leading Infernape here. I could just go Infernape Slowking to set up Trick Room and then kind of go with my Blizzard spam strategy. Although Azumarill is not too bad here either. But you know what? I'm actually just going to go with the Trick Room Hail strategy. Like, I haven't played on any of this format, obviously, since no one really has. This format being the newly updated, like, VGC 2009, but should be fun. Like I said, there are a lot of notable changes, obviously typing being a thing. That's one of the biggest ones. You know, resists and what doesn't resist stuff anymore. But yeah, looking forward to this one. So I'm going to lead Infernape and Slowking. This was basically the team I used in 2009. I actually didn't get to compete in any tournaments that year because regionals was lottery based, so it was only chosen randomly. So I didn't even make it through the lottery, so I didn't get to compete. In nationals, I missed my flight, or my flight got canceled and I couldn't make it in time. So that was really disappointing since I practiced a lot that season. I was still in the juniors division way back. So the Kangaskhan Shuckle lead here is okay. Honestly, I think I'm just going to go straight for a close combat onto the Kangaskhan and a Trick Room. Yeah. So the reason being here, yeah, Kangaskhan's going to want to fake out. He does fake out Infernape, which is smart. Oh, that does so much damage. He's actually Life Orb Kangaskhan. I was obviously like thinking, oh, he's going to Mega Evolve as we see Stealth Rock coming out from Shuckle. So not exactly, you know, the most viable move. But it actually helps out like, for my opponent a lot because of the fact that I actually have Glaceon and Abomasnow in the back. So you don't normally expect Stealth Rock to put in work, but it does here. So he's probably just going to try to knock out my Infernape. I don't really want to switch out. So I'm just going to go for the Feint Scald. Maybe I actually want to Feint Kangaskhan and Scald Shuckle. Yeah, so then I can bring in Abomasnow and double Blizzard. So, yeah, I mean, I could have faked out the Shuckle, but I was like, okay, if Kangaskhan wants to fake out Slowking, then I can just knock it out. If he fakes out Infernape, like, typically you sacrifice Infernape in the early game to get a free switch in. So here, like, he's going to get a free turn of damage off, obviously, but regular Kangaskhan's significantly weaker than Mega Kangaskhan, so I'm not really too worried about that. But yeah, it was kind of funny to see Kangaskhan and Smeargle, and then Pachirisu, obviously a world champion from 2014. Vespiquen, not exactly the most common Pokemon, but Life Orb Kangaskhan, still pretty strong. They did a lot of damage. Obviously, Infernape pretty frail, but yeah. The issue, obviously, with this kind of team is, like, if you don't utilize your turns of Trick Room correctly, then it's bad, and here the issue is that I'm going to have to waste a turn, but hopefully I can take advantage of the next 3 turns and just kind of blow through my opponent's team. So I'm just going to Feint off, just get whatever damage I can on that Kangaskhan. Still a decent amount there. So he's taking around 20%. Shuckle goes for a rest, but it's not exactly the best time to use rest. I'm going to get Scald off against it. That does so much damage. And I'm Expert Belt for those wondering. We do see Return come out. Targeting Slowking, though. Interesting. Doing more than I actually anticipated there. That Life Orb obviously paying dividends. That's concerning. So, I think I really want to take advantage of the Hail. So I'm actually going to switch out and go for a Blizzard. Yeah. Kangaskhan can knock out Slowking at this point, that's fine. I actually would like to conserve Infernape for the post-Trick Room turns. Since it's already been 1 turn of Trick Room and I didn't pick up a knockout there, I was expecting the target onto Infernape. I don't know why Shuckle really went for the rest there, but Stealth Rock here actually helping my opponent out. Never thought I'd actually see that. And of course now Snow is going to, or the Hail is going to be around. Rest is going to help this time around. So I wonder if he's got a berry to wake up. This is actually a scary lead. No item, though. Okay. So I just get a Blizzard off. Does a pretty good amount. Freezes Kangaskhan, actually. Wow, we take those. And he stays frozen. That's another nice thing about spamming Blizzard. Like, the freeze chances are probably higher than they should be, honestly. So that's really nice here, because I can just go for a Blizzard Scald and pick up a double knockout, and my opponent doesn't have any weather. So yeah, I really like this team. It's a little bit worse, I think, right now, because of the fact that Wide Guard, you know, became a thing, and that's a move that players can actually use. So that's one of the things I'm more worried about of seeing, but I did add Azumarill and Staraptor. Those weren't Pokemon I used back in 2009, but I think they're pretty strong, because, you know, with Azumarill I can go fake out Belly Drum immediately. Which honestly probably would have helped out more here. Oh, he actually does manage to thaw out, though. Gets a Sucker Punch out. That will probably knock out Slowking, yeah. So, good play by my opponent there. I could have switched out, I guess, but this Kangaskhan's put in a lot of work. Fun fact, Kangaskhan was actually a national champion in 2010 as well, and that was one of his regular Kangaskhan, so that was cool to see. So throwback to that. A Blizzard there does an okay amount. You see how bulky that Shuckle is, but, you know, since he opted to rest, now he has to give up an offensive slot there. And hail damage obviously ticks as well. Makes you wonder, though, if he's got a Infernape. Because if he does, that could be scary. But I'm going to bring my main sweeper of the team, which is Glaceon. And Infernape does come out, okay. That's potentially scary. Stealth Rock is actually helping out, too. This is crazy. So yeah, I'm just gonna double Blizzard here. I think this is the last turn of Trick Room 2, which is even scarier, but the thing is, Infernape's really frail, and if he opts to actually not go for a Fake Out here, then I'll get a lot of damage with double Blizzard. If not knock him out outright, probably would do like 80% or so, I guess. So then the hail damage, and then I can just come in with my Infernape and fake him out for a knockout. So I'll probably lose one of my 2 Pokemon this turn, but I'm okay with that. It comes down to what he does. But yeah, that Stealth Rock is actually super helpful for him. Like, you don't normally expect that, but obviously Abomasnow and Glaceon actually take a good amount of damage from that because it's super effective. But no Fake Out coming out. Okay, so Shuckle's going to stay asleep for another turn, so this is ideal. He also has a chance to miss on the Glaceon, and look at that! Wow, that Blizzard almost does 50% to Infernape. That's crazy. So double Blizzard coming out. Yep, around the money there. So just like 75%. Like I said, you'll probably get a knockout here, but then I get the switching into my Infernape. He goes for Fire Pledge, actually. Interesting. Onto Abomasnow. Yeah, I'd rather lose Abomasnow here since Glaceon's the stronger Pokemon in terms of offense. And that Infernape should be in KO range now. So Trick Room expires. It's going to come down to what my opponent's last Pokemon is, but I think I have enough firepower to close out this one. So I'm going to bring out my Infernape. Infernape was pretty common back then. And it's going to be Smeargle. Okay, well, Smeargle can't do anything offensively, so I think all I need to do here is just fake out his Infernape and Blizzard. I mean, he could Dark Void, sure. I guess he could also go for a Wide Guard, but the thing is that Infernape is going to take a fake out here. So, unless he has Protect, and maybe I should have fainted then. But, Hail still being up, obviously. And that's the nice thing, you know, we're so used to weather in 2016 where it's like you need the weather inducer to be out. Wow, almost knocks it up, but Hail will pick up the knockout there onto Infernape. So he's going to flinch. He's going to Dark Void here with Smeargle, which is obviously... If he has Transform, I actually could still lose. He actually hits Glaceon through the Snow Cloak as well, so that's annoying, but yeah, what can you really do? But Infernape here now should faint from the Hail, which is what I was expecting. So let's see. I got hit by the Hail first. I could be faster, not sure. Yeah, he gets knocked out. Perfect. So now it's like, do you have Transform? And if you do I wake up? Oh man, that would be scary. Hail obviously is on a timer too. It's not like infinite weather. So yeah, I'm just gonna hope I unthaw right now. But yeah, hitting Glaceon in Hail is pretty difficult, obviously, because the ability does increase its evasion. Huh? Oh, you don't see that every day. That's cool. That means he does have an offensive attack. He doesn't even knock out the Infernape here, though. Hopefully, if Glaceon wakes up, it's over. It does wake up, gets the Blizzard off, and should seal up the deal. But that was way closer than probably should have been, but I'm obviously a little bit rusty. I think maybe, honestly, leading just Infernape, Azumarill would have been better, but the main reason I didn't want to do that is because my opponent had an Infernape. Staraptor, honestly, wouldn't have been a poor choice as well, but I wanted to just give a nice throwback to the old team that I used and just try it out. But that was really fun. The Life Orb Kangaskhan on my opponent's end putting in a lot of work. And in the end, that freeze didn't matter too much. if anything, prevented me to get a free switch into Glaceon, but it did help out. I did end up winning the first game off screen because my opponent disconnected like a turn in, so whether it was a Wi-Fi issue on purpose, you know, whatever. So, yep, I really do want to have a nice run in this tournament, though, but we're obviously on the lower ladder end right now, but I wanted to upload all my games just to have some content. We're going to find Alejo with a rating of 1473. What I'm thinking is each episode will probably have 2 to 3 games, just like Road to Ranked, even though I'm going to record all of it today and tomorrow, and then that way you guys will have content for basically a week or 2 weeks or so. So, you know, that way we have something to do on a daily basis again, and it's convenient for everyone. Everyone has a good time, but, Crobat, Blissey, Blaziken, Absol, Breloom, and Gliscor. So, I think I already mentioned this, but obviously no Mega Evolutions are allowed since this is a throwback to 2008 and 2009. Tyranitar was actually banned back then too, due to a level up. Like, you evolve it at level 55, so it wasn't allowed, since you had to be level 50. So, let's see. That Absol and the Breloom are actually what are concerning me the most right now. I actually like Staraptor a lot here as a lead. He doesn't have any way to really stop that, so I think Staraptor and Franape is pretty solid. See, Azumarill still pretty good, especially against most of his stuff, actually, yeah. And I'll go Abomasnow. So, I'm going to keep Slowking on the bench, and I don't want Glaceon too much here, because Glaceon, like, you want to bring when you can get Trick Room up, and so it means like you need Slowking and Abomasnow and Glaceon, so you can get a 4th Pokemon. So anytime you can't bring both Slowking and Abomasnow, you typically don't want to bring Glaceon. You know, it's just used for really strong and fast Blizzards under Trick Room. So I'm going to lead it with Infernape and Staraptor against Blaziken and Absol. I would say this is probably ideal for me, since I can just go straight for a Fake Out and a Brave Bird, and I get the Intimidate off too. So this is pretty nice. Man, it's so fun playing with these Pokemon again. So yeah, I'm just going to Brave Bird Blaziken and go for a Fake Out on Absol. You could have a Focus Sash or Protect with either. Maybe Sucker Punch, I don't know. Switches out Blaziken, that's a good play. But he doesn't have anything that can take Brave Bird, so I get guaranteed free damage off this first turn. Gliscor coming out. So Infernape's going to get a Fake Out here. Wow, that does like 25%, that's not bad. I'm choosing Life Orb here since I think Abomasnow really needs Focus Sash. Although the last game didn't demonstrate that because of the Stealth Rock, which actually came clutch from my opponent. Okay, that does just under 50%. I need the Poison Orb, or Toxic Orb variant. Oh, that really brings me back. That's cool with me. I still have a Azumarill to deal with him, so I think I'm just going to Brave Bird Absol and overheat the Gliscor. Sucker Punches, okay. It's intimidated, so that won't do too much. Unless he crits me. That's actually a little bit unfortunate since Scarf Brave Bird's so good against his entire team, but oh well. So they'll actually pick up the knockout there on Absol, which is nice. So hopefully Overheat connects here on Gliscor, that would be great. I really love Mixed Blaziken. That's what I used back then too, although I think I might have used Heat Wave, I don't really remember. Okay, Overheat does connect, which is super nice. Hopefully he picks up the knockout here. Nice. Sweet. So pretty good first 2 turns. Obviously the critical hit there sucks a lot because you know, Staraptor would have had like still like 30% or so, enough to get another Brave Bird off, and given that how much it threatens Blaziken, that's a big deal. But the nice thing about using Overheat with Infernape is, you know, you get to typically pick up a 1-hit knockout, if not do a ton of damage, and then close combat still isn't affected at all. But we do see Breloom, which is like the one Pokemon I was kind of hoping we wouldn't see. Not too much of an issue, I don't think, here though. Because I think I'm just going to launch an Aqua Jet, and I'll just Overheat Breloom. Yeah, because Aqua Jet and Overheat should put both of them in Ice Shard / Hail KO range. Yeah. He doesn't protect with either, or go for a priority attack, which is interesting. And Overheat actually just 1-hit knocks out the Breloom, no Focus Sash either. So obviously, I mean, yeah, I'm not expecting like fully built out teams, especially earlier on as we play in this tournament, which is why I'll probably be able to get maybe even 4 games in, as we see Brave Bird come out from Blaziken. But like I said, I just wanted to document all my games since I think this format's just so different, and it's a change of pace from obviously what we've been playing for a long time. And you guys don't understand, I love 2008, 2009 so much. I mentioned earlier I couldn't play in 2009 tournaments just because of the tournament structure and some misfortune. In 2008, it was actually called Video Game Showdown back then, so it wasn't even Video Game Championships. They had 2 regional qualifiers in North America, and then the top 8 players at both of those regionals made it to Worlds, which was only US and Japan that year. So I was only 10 years old. I actually made it to quote-unquote Worlds, and I unfortunately was single elimination back then. I got knocked out in the first round, but it was really fun. I got top 4 at the New York qualifiers using kind of a Rain hybrid team. It was like manual Rain with Vaporeon, and then you'd have Kingdra. And then there was also Vaporeon and Typhlosion, so you'd go for Icy Wind with Vaporeon turn 1, and then Helping Hand Eruption. But this is a very competitive team this time around. I'm pretty excited because, you know, back then there was an automatic Rain with Politoed, and obviously that was a new thing we saw in Generation 5. That's one of the reasons why this team is a little bit weaker, so I am definitely scared of that. But we see Poly, Ludi, Latios, Scizor, Lucario, Zapdos, and I think Rain is probably one of, if not the strongest strategy in this format. So I'm definitely scared of it. Now, that doesn't mean that Abomasnow is bad here, because Abomasnow can still one-hit knock out the Latios and the Zapdos. It's like, if I set up Trick Room, I could still put in a lot of work, especially because I am running Hail my Glaceon, specifically to counter the Rain, if it comes out. But figuring out what to lead with is important. I might actually go Staraptor Slowking. Abomasnow. You do have Fire Blast on Slowking too. I kind of want to still go with Glaceon since it still does so much. Especially if I get Trick Room up, but this is a tough call. Zoomerl's not bad. Okay, what beats Staraptor Slowking as a lead? If he's Scarf Latios, that's the main concern. Otherwise, I can just nuke him and Trick Room. I'll go Infernape, I guess, to cover the Steel types. Yeah. Alright, so this is my first time trying out Staraptor. I didn't use Staraptor at all. Really ever in any competitive year, but it's always been kind of, you know, definitely has its niche, and it's a pretty solid Pokemon. So let's see. This is a scary matchup, and I'm very unfamiliar, and in best of one, I'm not expecting big things, but hopefully I can use my knowledge and eke out a win here. The nice thing is I do get an Intimidate off. We do see Scizor and Zapdos. Okay. That's not good. That is not good. Although I could pick up a double knockout right now. The other thing is I don't expect him to knock me out. Shoot, I don't know. I think Staraptor should have more HP than Zapdos here. So I could honestly just Final Gambit Fire Blast. I really want to do that. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go for it. Alright. All in. Yes! Okay, now does Scizor knock me out? I'm not going for the Trick Room strategy now. I'm just going straight in. Goes for knockoff. I should survive that. Oh, easily. Yeah, wow. Fire Blast, please hit. Yummy. Oh, that was a satisfying turn. The reason why I actually didn't want a Trick Room there, Trick Room might have honestly been better, but the thing is, like, he's probably going to bring in Politoed, so now I can bring in a Abomasnow. I should just win the Weather War. I'm trying to remember his team. He had Poly, Ludi, Zapdos, Latios. I think it's relatively safe to bring in a Abomasnow right now. There's Ludi. It's a Abomasnow. That's Politoed, yeah. Unless he's slower. Nope, okay, good. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. So that means I think I'm just going to protect with the Abomasnow to keep my sash. Unless he's got Drizzle. I mean, unless he uses a attack that brings the rain back, which would be bad. I'm just going to fake out Blizzard here, or protect Blizzard. Oh, if he has Rain Dance. He could very well have Rain Dance. Oh, no, he's helping handing, though. I'm fine with that. I want that free switch in, so even if he targets Abomasnow. I mean, even if he targets Slowking, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, he does helping an Energy Ball the Slowking, though, which is a good play, but rather play safe here, because I know there's not much I can lose out on right now. Yeah, so this is good. This is very good. Ah, Final Gambit's so satisfying. That's exactly why I built this on the team. Why, you know, I theory that too. It's like if you can pick up a knockout immediately on a big threat, then you can just set the rest of the team up. Honestly, here, I think I'm just going to Blizzard and Close Combat. But let's think this out. I could fake out Blizzard. I don't know what item he has there. Life Orb Close Combat could potentially just knock out Ludi as well. So I'm going to go for it. Since Scald still one-hit KOs Infernape. And I thought he might have Protect on Ludi, but, you know, like, Ludi is a Pokemon that typically doesn't carry Protect. And Politoed's not the threat right now. I'm more concerned about Ludicolo. Almost pick up the knockout there. But now I just win 1v1 Abomasnow against Politoed. So, he's going to Hydro Pump. Misses Infernape too. So, not good fortune for my opponent. I mean, I was fine. Obviously, I was willing to take the knockout there. Like, there wasn't anything like my opponent could have done other than maybe hope to Scald burn Ludi if he had Scald on Politoed. And, yeah, like, if he had Protect on Ludicolo, that'd be good. But the reason why I doubled up into Ludi there is because Politoed's a Pokemon that sometimes, or very often, carries Protect. Ludicolo almost never has Protect because it has the syndrome of, like, 5 move syndrome, right? You want Fake Out, you want a Water-type attack, a Grass-type attack, and an Ice-type attack. So it's like, there's no room for it. So now I can just go for Wood Hammer and Close Combat. And my opponent's going to forfeit. So it's been pretty fast games. It's been 3 games already, I think. I feel like I'm actually getting better as I go along, which is good, because that first game was way too close for comfort, given that, you know, my opponent was just using a Shuckle with Stealth Rock and Rest. But, you know, sometimes the most random of things your team can have a bad matchup against. But, yeah, I mean, shout out to my opponents for bringing some really fun and cool stuff so far. Yeah, that last game went a lot better than I was expecting it to, honestly, just from team preview. So we're going to fit in a 4th game, Crystal from New Jersey, with a rating of 1501. Rocking all Gen 4 Pokemon, actually. Gen 4 is one of my favorite generations, because that was like when all my friends were still playing Pokemon, back in elementary, and I think like 6th grade, and I just love Gen 4 so much. Obviously, I think one of the biggest reasons was because that was like the turn of competitive play, or not the turn, but suddenly Wi-Fi became a thing, you could trade through Wi-Fi. It was just so fun. That and Pokemon Battle Revolution, man, good throwbacks. But yeah, Infernape, Luxray, Chatot, another Gliscor, Floatzel, and Spiritomb. So none of these are really too competitive, but like I said, we're not expecting to see the craziest of competitive teams earlier on, but still wanted to showcase the team. Figured, you know, it'd be cool to let you guys see me play through a completely new team right from the scratch. So let's see. Now, Spiritomb is actually kind of a threat because I can't Fake Out it. It could Will-O-Wisp. Otherwise, I would definitely want to go with Azumarill. Infernape Luxray is probably the lead I'm fearing the most, and I think that's actually slightly problematic. One way I could counteract that, though, is just through Infernape Staraptor, I think. I definitely still want Azumarill in the back. Dual Water types mean, obviously, Electric types become a little bit scarier. I'm going to go with the Abomasnow again. So, it's like, this game isn't exactly the most fit for Glaceon. Basically, Glaceon, Abomasnow, Slowking comes out when they don't have the best way to stop Trick Room. But when your opponent has Fake Out and multiple Pokemon that have super effective tap attacks against Slowking, you know, that becomes more of a concern. So, gonna go with Infernape Staraptor, get the Fake Out, maybe just, you know, nuke something with Final Gambit immediately. We actually see Spiritomb. I love Shiny Spiritomb. And Chatot, which is pretty interesting. Don't know what to expect, honestly. Don't also know how offensive Chatot is. Can I don't want to Final Gambit, I honestly just want to, like, I don't really know anything that it does. Spiritomb I'm a little bit more familiar with because it's like, okay, it has some support moves, you can Will-O-Wisp, whatnot. But, yeah, I'm actually currently looking up how bulky Chatot is. It's so frail, wow. I think I'm just going to overheat Brave Bird. Maybe even, yeah, I want to Brave Bird, I don't want to lock myself into close combat. Oh, that confuses me, right? Oh no, it just does a lot of damage. Whoa, whoa. So he's Scarfed, I think. Unless there's some weird priority going on there. That's a really good attack. Shoot. So I knock out Chatot, but the confusion is what's scary here. Wow. Alright, Infernape, you can do it. That's not good. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. What's the Spiritomb doing? Will-O-Wisp? Oh, Icy Wind. It's gonna do a lot. Yeah, I'm bringing down my speed. So now I'm normal speed. Abomasnow or Azumarill? I'll bring in Abomasnow. Because if he brings anything but Infernape, then I can Blizzard. If he does bring Infernape, I can just Fake Out. It's gonna be Luxray. Okay, good. But this is still really scary, man. Like, like, Chatter. How fast is Chatot? That had to be Choice Scarf, right? Because I'm Scarfed. That would only make sense. The confusion, it was unfortunate, but they really didn't expect that. I'll just Blizzard Brave Bird, I think. Yeah, I'm still the fastest. Okay, that's helpful. That's very helpful. But this is scary. I could lose both of my Pokemon this turn. Wow, that still does so much. Gets a critical hit. It's gonna Wild Charge. Excellent. Okay, great. So, I don't think Spiritomb can do too much to Abomasnow. Oh, wait. No, I have the Zoomer on the back. Well, Luxurie's gonna take Blizzard and Hail damage. And then I could Ice Shard Aqua Jet. Maybe. Oh, it's gonna be close. Let's see what my opponent's last one is. I'm hoping for Infernape. Yeah, so I've got a Zoomer here to close it out. This format's really fast-paced, but that's fine. 4 games, that's fun. Nice. Unless he's got Feint. Oh, that's actually really scary. So you could Feint Wild Charge. So how do I cover that option? Maybe I'll just attack here. I just attacked. Ah, but he just fakes out. Huh? Oh, you don't see that every day. Okay. So the reason why I was willing to do this is because I'll get a Blizzard off against Infernape. He'll take Hail damage. And then I'll get a single target Blizzard against Infernape. But that does make this scarier. That does an okay amount. Okay. And we also saw the normal gem, which is an interesting choice of item. So I'm gonna protect here, get some hail damage off. Maybe I read too much into the Feint play. Like, if I double protect, though, and then you fake out Feint, then I just lose. Or Feint Wild Charge. Ooh, Flare Blitz, that's really good too. Because that means Infernape takes recoil, so I definitely should have this in the bag. Yeah, no close combat, or just choosing not to go for it. But I do have the Focus Sash on Abomasnow, right? Yeah, okay, just making sure. That's why you have Sash or Abomasnow, though, for situations like this. Yeah, and that's going to be game. Really close one, though, but I felt like, I don't know, I was actually in a pretty bad position. I don't think the crit on Spiritomb mattered, since I think Abomasnow's Blizzard would have finished it off, but that Shadow, man, that was definitely not something I was expecting. But we managed to squeak out 4 wins in a row in today's episode, but, you know, it's obviously a lower ladder right now, and I feel like they easily could have gone a very different way. Like, it was close for sure, and I'm obviously learning with the team as I go along. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a ton of fun. I'm just gonna keep on recording after I finish this episode. So basically, you guys can expect a lot more in the next couple of days, maybe for at least a week or so. Since these games are going way faster than I expected, so maybe we'll fit in. I'm sure as actually they get more competitive, it'll be longer, but evidently it's a relatively fast-paced format as well. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this first episode of the Sinnoh Classic tournaments battles, my run through it, and I'm gonna do my best to honestly maybe even win the tournament. But I just want to have a good time. It's such a fun format. And hope you guys like this. It's obviously not an actual VGC format, but very similar, if, you know, just a throwback to the old VGC days. So, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed. As always, leave a like if you did, and see you guys in the next episode. Alright, peace.